Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. Welcome back to another video. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you are new. Welcome back to Open Mic, episode 2. Obviously, I didn't promise this to be weekly. It's just when I have something to talk about that's like non-football related, that people might like, I'm going to talk about it. But also, if you want me to talk about any in real life topics that are similar to this, put them in the comments and I'll talk about it next. Also, I'm doing a Q&A for Saturday. So any questions you want to ask, football or non-football, again, put them in the comments below. So basically, the next thing we're going to talk about is, am I different on camera to off camera? Now let's talk about it. The reason why I talk about this one is because sometimes I get this question in streams, but also sometimes, like throughout, I don't know, like for example, like the summer series, for example, we even had this debate before about being a social guy on camera, and that might like on camera might perceive you as a social guy because you're talking all the time. We literally click on a video for you to talk, sort of thing. I'm I wouldn't even say I'm antisocial. I would say I used to be, but I just have a balance of, if I've socialized for quite a long time, I do need my alone time. Like I just, even before going to bed, I just need an hour of like me listening to music or some shit. But that's a different topic for a different day. I would say that I am pretty much like 90% the same on and off camera. The reason why I say 90% the same is because I'm not talking about West Ham non-stop when I'm off camera. Like I don't really like talking about West Ham off camera because I've got to do it on camera. So that's the main thing. Because I'm not like, I'm usually, when I'm raging about something is if I'm like, I have this thing where I'm like, if I'm constantly being interrupted, like you see on streams, if I'm being interrupted all the time, like I can't be asked to be on a stream. But also, if it's something competitive, I'll crash out because I'm too competitive when it comes to anything. So that's something I need to work on. But that's the only time you will ever see me really crash out off camera, or just a lack of patience at something. It happens. It happens. The reason why I would say like I'm 90% is because I can't even say this is a character because it's not. Because everything I say I mean, and everything I say it's real. Um, I make the same jokes on and off camera as well. I have the same conversations on and off camera as well. Sometimes I go too far, but I don't know, that's part and parcel with crashing out. I guess it's part and parcel with crashing out. And I think I had to realize that after the Chelsea game, just because I said some mad stuff about certain people in that. I had to cut out half the stream. I had to cut out half the stream because certain people found they went a bit left. But that's something I gotta like calculate going forward. But in terms of like being like the same on and off camera, I would say a lot of the people that you guys watch on camera are pretty much the same. I'm just talking about my experience when it comes to meeting YouTubers that I've streamed with and also talking to them off camera as well. It's essentially like having a normal conversation. Obviously, it's going to be a bit more personal. It's going to be a bit more like, uh, well, stuff you wouldn't say on camera because like you're going to talk about your personal life a bit, or you're going to have a different relationship off camera because you're actually friends off camera. Whereas when you're talking about football, it's specifically about football. So you don't really get to see the full personality even on camera like that. Because obviously, if I'm doing a stream, for example, I've got to present. I've got to present. I've got to host, especially if I've got a guest on. So I've got to host it in between like the person talking and a chat, etc. So that makes sense. Whereas off camera, there is no chat. There is no chat. So I'm just talking to the person, sort of thing. I'm not like trying to sway a topic. We're just having a normal conversation, which is sometimes it's good to do the chill streams because I can still do the hosting thing, but I don't have to do it as much because we're not intensely talking about football. We don't have to intensely debate about anything to do with football. We don't have to do any of that. Well, all we can do is just talk. Just talk. We just talk about random stuff. It's pretty much a chill stream. It's like the people hearing an off-camera conversation. That's the way I see it because it's not too dissimilar to the way everyone talks off camera. But I don't think I could put on a character. I've always maintained this before, especially at the start of me doing YouTube in like 2021 or whatever. I don't think I could put on a character. I think you have to be like really good with scripts or really funny to even do that. Really creative. I'd say I'm creative in the video idea aspect in a sense, to a certain extent. But when it comes to like putting on a character and stuff, I remember watching like KSI when I was really young, and obviously KSI is the character, JJ is the person. I couldn't go on camera and do all of that. It has to be from like myself. It has to like when you see me crash out, it's because I'm genuinely pissed off. Like just because the camera switches off, that doesn't mean I've just stopped crashing out. It just means I'm not going to shout all the time because we're not talking about it anymore. So that's the difference. I couldn't put on a character. I think it'd be too difficult as well. There's only a certain amount of time where, for example, especially if you're doing it on stream, I don't know how Speed does it. Like I don't know how Speed was doing it for a long time. He's a little bit more toned down now, but I don't know how he was doing it for a long time where he was going over the limit all the fucking time. And even then, he had to be like, okay, I'm going too far in this aspect and stuff like that. And that's kind of the problem. You're always going to go too far when you try and push it over the limit. So there's always a certain point where everyone has a breaking point, especially when you try and be a bit edgy and stuff like that as well. Like there's a difference when you've got no filter. Like I've got no filter as it is, so I just say what comes to my head. So I can stay monetized when saying it. It's calm. It's calm. But like that's the main part of it. It's just trying to entertain people. But I don't go in this trying to like it sounds dumb, innit? But I go into this trying to entertain people more when I'm just talking rather than when I'm crashing out. Because when I'm crashing out, I'm not like you guys saw me after the Sunderland game. I'm not trying to do an intro. I don't care about doing an intro. I'm just trying to talk because I need to get this shit off my chest. So I'm not in YouTube mode at that point. My head's gone. My head's gone. I'm not in YouTube mode. I'm going to talk about West Ham. I need to get this off my chest because I'm not going to shout at a person doing this. I'm going to shout at a camera, which is why I do YouTube in the first place, because so I can talk about football. I don't really talk to people about football as much. Usually, it's like a 5-minute conversation off camera or whatever. Don't really care. I don't really care like that. But that's just a case of like how the way you speak translates off and on camera anyway. Like when it's off camera time, barely talk about football. Sometimes we talk about football. I talk about football more than I would like to off camera, but it's a case of we talk about bare shit off camera. Just talk about life. Just talk about life because we all go through shit and stuff like that as well. And I think if you're trying to be someone else on camera, it mainly translates more through videos. So if I was going to do like a character, it'd have to be like a video series or something. But I wouldn't know how I'd script it. I would not know how I'd script it at all. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to script that stuff, which is why like people like Elijah are so good because they've got SNN. Like Elijah's got SNN. Like you can see like how Elijah scripts shit, how he can make a character and it be entertaining and that. I couldn't do that shit. I couldn't do that. Because that's only like a certain type of caliber of YouTuber can really do that, in my opinion. Not everyone could just put on a character and just do that. I wouldn't know what I'd do. Would I put on a hat backwards and just be extra aggressive? Like that would be mad. Like that would be a big switch up in my content as well. I don't think anybody expects me to be like that. And that's the only time you can really say someone's different off camera is if they're playing a character. For me, and especially this football YouTube space, as I said, everyone's the same. It's just like having a conversation at the pub, in your school, in your workplace, whatever it is, whatever you can relate to. That's literally just what streaming is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like for me, I can only be myself. I know about like comedic timing when it comes to like jokes and stuff. Like for example, if I'm with other people on stream, I might try and time a joke. But that's not because we're on camera. That's because I'm with other people. Like it's very hard to do like comedic timing type of jokes when you are doing it solo. I know some of you find me slightly funny when I'm doing solo streams and stuff or solo videos, and I go mad. But it's only I can only really like make jokes like that if I'm pause for this, like safety pause, as Elijah would say, but bouncing off another person's character. So it depends. It depends. It depends. But most of the time, it's the exact same. I make jokes off camera. You see the jokes I make on camera, I make the jokes off camera as well. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. What do you want me to talk about next when it comes to this open mic sesh? And also, put your questions in the comments for the Q&A as well. And yeah, I'll chat to you guys in a bit. Take care, peace.